Welcome once again to Don't Ask, Don't Tell, the show that asks the questions that you should be asking but may not be asking, the show that brings answers to help you make more informed decisions for both you and your family. Today we have a special guest with us. We have Ms. Arlene Willis from Valencia College, no longer community, Valencia College. Ms. Willis, please introduce yourself.
Yes. Hello, I am Arlene Willis, and I'm from Valencia College. I'm the coordinator advisor of the LSAMP, which stands for the Lewis Stokes Alliance for Minority for Participation in the STEM program.
That is wonderful. Welcome,
Yes.
Ms. Willis, to
Thanks
our
for
show.
having me.
Today we have a few questions for you that people may not know to ask.
Yes.
So we know that you have answers that will definitely help our viewers. Valencia used to be Valencia Community College, and you guys changed that name. Why is that?
Yes. Well, what happened, the state removed to community college because it's no longer community. We offer baccalaureate courses as well, degrees rather, and so therefore, rather than most colleges, even Seminole State, it's no longer Seminole Community College, Seminole State, Valencia College. So the state community no longer exists. However, we still reach out to the community, and that's who we serve, but we're a state because that gives us the ability to offer classes that exceeds beyond our SA, AA, or AAS degrees.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. How can someone benefit from attending the two-year courses that Valencia offers?
Yes. Well, several ways. Valencia College, when you go to a smaller institution versus going to a state university, you have smaller class sizes, which oftentimes, especially for students who are graduating high school or they may even be homeschooled, and they don't want to go away. They want to stay local. They want to get the college experience without going away. So Valencia, being a two-year institution, allow them to come and receive their AA or AS degree and have smaller classroom experience. And you have one-on-one. Is more personable. Probably for some people, the chances for them to excel is greater. And so that is just a lot of opportunities to go to a two-year institution versus a four-year when you first graduate, okay, especially if you're just not for sure what you want to do.
Okay, you said AA and AS.
Yes.
For those who are not familiar with those terms, could
Yes.
you elaborate a little
Yes.
bit, please?
Well, Associate of Arts degree are usually degrees that students are saying, okay, after I've completed my AA degree, I'm going to go on to a four-year institution, being UCF, FAMU, Florida State, wherever a person chooses, versus an AS degree is kind of school to work degree. So we prepare them to go right into the workforce.
Okay. If someone is in high school, can they still attend at Valencia?
Oh, certainly, yes. We have a dual enrollment program, and that's a program that you have to qualify for, and typically if as early as sixth grade students could start in dual enrollment. They have to have earned some high school credits, have a 3.0, and have permission, of course, via their parents as well as the school counselors. They are limited to some classes that they can take, and they usually get those classes via the counselor. They are the ones who sit down with the student, and dual enrollment takes them through the process. But they get the permission of what classes they can take, because some classes they still need to take at the high school level, and then some of the classes they're more than welcome to take at Valencia.
Okay, so for brief translation, si que on étudiant dans 6th grade, okay, bonheur comme 6th grade, yo ka prend dual enrollment, qui veut dire yo capable aller l'école dans Valencia tout. Yo ka prend classe, quelques classes dans Valencia tout. Et si moun dans high school, et capable prend quelques classes tout dans Valencia. For the 6th graders, you said that the parent has to be present?
Yes, usually depending on the grade, as early as 6th grade, they do ask that the parents or adult supervision is somewhere on campus. They're not in the classroom, but they have to be someplace on campus.
All right, thank you for that verification. Does Valencia accept international students?
Oh, yes, yes. We do accept international students. However, of course, being international students, some students are here already on a visa, and there are additional information that they have to have. They have to be able to prove financial status, and that's usually by showing some type of bank statement that they can pay for their college level courses, as well as passports, or of course if they have a visa. So they can attend. Their tuition is a little higher because they do not get the in-state tuition. That cost of in-state tuition is $109 per credit hours for in-state, and I think it's about 18 cents per in-state student, and out-of-state is about almost $310 if you're out-of-state students. So international students they do have to take an exam or prove English literacy, which is usually by the TOEFL exam or whatever the exam that they're given, that they have to be able to prove English literacy.
Okay, all right. So you said that what is the actual average credit hours at Valencia?
The cost for in-state tuition is $109, and I believe 18 cents. For out-of-state tuition, it's $309 and some change.
So as you've heard, the out-of-state tuition is much greater than the in-state tuition. So the international students have more out-of-pocket money to pay than the in-state tuition students. America recently went through 35 days of being paralyzed by the partial government shutdown, as you are aware. And I must say, it was only a partial shutdown. It was not even a full shutdown. And with that, we see that there were so many financial crises. So many people went through so much. With that being said, when we look back to the Great Depression, we see that the people that were in the agricultural business, they didn't feel the Great Depression. So does Valencia provide an agriculture training? Do they have a manual curriculum for such as the STEM program for people that are interested?
Well, again, Valencia, agriculture is part of STEM. A lot of people don't know that farming is part of STEM. Yes, we do have an agriculture program at Valencia. We have a young man, Javier. I believe that's his name. He spearheads, he's over that program. And we have a great green garden that they grow different vegetations at. We do have a small greenhouse on campus, but we do have a bigger greenhouse off campus. So that program is a 2-year program, and students are more than welcome to, again, once you fill out your application, which it is a $30, I believe it's $35 application fee for international students or domestic students. There is a $35 fee for admission applications to be completed. So we do have an agriculture program, yes. And they do a lot of hands-on things.
That is so good to hear. Does Valencia offer any scholarships, any grants for students, especially those that are going for agricultural training?
Well, again, I want to correct myself to tell you that the per credit hour credit for students who are in-state tuition is $103 and some change, and for international students or any student who are out-of-state paying students, it's $390 and some change. I like to reverse those numbers, but it's $390. So I stand to be corrected. I don't want to give anyone misinformation.
Wow, that's triple the amount.
Yes, it's $390. We do have scholarships. Now, again, because international students are international students, it just depends. It's a little gray area there. I'm not in the international department, but most anyone, when they come on campus, could apply for a scholarship. There's different types of scholarships. Valencia have a foundation scholarship. And what that is, a student will write a one-letter essay, and they would submit it, and then that essay would be disseminated amongst the area in which someone thought, whoever reviews the scholarship feels like that person, whether it may be a scholarship for someone in science. And then they'll look and see what other scholarships do they qualify for. So that's a very good scholarship. And then there, of course, sometimes people who are in state, they come to us. If they've graduated from a Florida State high school, they have the Bright scholarships. Valencia also have bridges. Some students are bridges. Some international students are Bridges students, so we also have an honors program. So yes, there are several ways. And I also like to encourage students that look outside, look at the radio stations. There are scholarships that are available because some private institutions have to give away some of that money, and rather than give it back to the government, they like to give it to put it in the form of a scholarship and donate it. So, get your fingers to writing. You look on the internet, look up whatever field you think you may be interested in and type in that scholarship. Some scholarships are very general and some scholarships are very specific.
Thank you.
But the key to it is writing those essays.
Mm-hmm. Thank you again for that. For the sake of elaboration, if they don't write the essay, they don't get the scholarship.
No, I have not seen a scholarship that someone just come and drop it into a student's lap. No, you have to seek out for it. You have to write. Some of them could be just as simple as just a one-pager. Again, some scholarships may be a little bit more intense. But don't be afraid by that. Just start writing early. We encourage our students to start writing early. We encourage the parents, start getting the students to write early so that they can know what funds that they have coming in when they start in college.
Thank you. And we will give a brief translation for that. Si que ou vle yon scholarship qui available at Valencia, il faut que ou capable écrire un essai. Avec essai, vous capable garder dans qui branch que ou qualifié pour que ou capable recevoir scholarship que ou gen qui disponible pour moun qui qualifié. Et si ou pas écrit essai, ou pas besoin de cob là. So et gen moun tout qui pas même demander telle chose. Si que de façon yo capable joindre un scholarship. C'est pour ça que chose ça existait, frères et sœurs. Let me ask you something. What happens to the money when the year ends and there's not enough people that wrote essays to get those scholarships? What happens?
Well, sometimes in certain instances, scholarships they need people to get the money, so they ask, and we've seen in some cases where if they don't have enough people to apply for the scholarship, one, sometimes they will extend the deadline. Two, they will just not, I don't know what happened with the money, but they would not give, sometimes they don't give the scholarships out. So it's so important because, again, we've seen, even with financial aid, we've seen so many people, the monies go unclaimed even through financial aid because people don't apply. Sometimes, again, it's probably a little bit of intimidation, just not knowing. Valencia have a financial aid department. If you have to come and ask questions, we have the Atlas Lab. Once you sign up and you get everything rolling, we have people in place to be able to assist with questions that the parents may have or you may have. But even financial aid dollars go unclaimed, millions and millions of dollars because people just don't write. So yes, write, because you won't know unless you write if you're going to get one or not.
Wow, amazing.
Yes.
How can someone apply to get into Valencia?
First, they need to go online. It is a $35 application fee. And they go online and they apply. They have to set up for orientation. We do have an orientation that they need to go through, and that helps the student to know what they need to do. We even, in orientation, help them get registered. They need to fill out the FAFSA, prove residency. And so, therefore, they need to have 2 forms of ID. We have 2 tiers. Tier 1 and Tier 2, you definitely have to have Tier 1. That means you have to have an ID or you have to have a passport. You have to have a state license or something to that nature. So you complete all of that. And that's basically it. Have a high school diploma. We will take GEDs, but we do not take certificate of completions. So you have to have your high school diploma or a GED.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Does Valencia offer tutoring, not just to the students at Valencia, but for students that do not attend Valencia, maybe high school students or junior high students? Does Valencia provide that?
Well, for students who are current students at Valencia, we really encourage them to utilize all areas. We have a writing lab. We have a math center. Of course, we have the library. So we have so many tools that they can use to help them be more successful. For students, for people who are not students at Valencia, we used to have a program called Take Stock in Children. Now it's called Bridges. It's called it's a scholars program. Horizon Scholars is what it's called now. And that program you have to apply to. You have to apply when you're in the 8th grade. So you apply, and the program takes you all the way through 12th grade. And once you finish your 12th grade, you'll earn a full 2-year scholarship to any college you choose to go to, even if it's a non-traditional college. If you decide that you don't want to go to college, you want to get a trade in something, Valencia will pay for that. And and then they get, what that program does, it gets them college ready. So it prepares them, it has tutoring, so it has all the tools that they need, mentors to help them get to graduate high school and get into college.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
So, si on ti moun nan 8e grade, yo kapab inscrit pour que yo kapab jwenn tutoring nan Valencia et autre support. Et lè que yo fini, distance que yo fini, pour yo fini, yo jwenn un scholarship et pour 2 ans, côté que yo ka aller dans quel que soit collège que yo décidé pour yo aller. What is the accepted GPA for someone to attend Valencia?
Well, you don't have to per se have a GPA. You have to have a high school diploma or a GED.
Okay.
So when you come in, you do have to have that, and then you're well on your way. So you don't have to have, unless you're doing dual enrollment, then you meet certain criteria, or again, as I just spoke about, the Horizon Scholars Program, you have to have a certain, I think you have to apply. I don't even know if you have to have a certain GPA for that, but you do have to be at least in the 8th grade.
Okay. You've been at Valencia now for about 8 years. You've been working at Valencia.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
In the 8 years that you've worked there, what is the most important question that you do not hear the students ask, or even the parents?
What's the best way to study? I know that, students, we see them all the time. Sometimes I have students in my office, and they may not have ever been in the writing center. And they may have some writing concerns. And I'll say, have you been to the writing center? They'll say, oh, they're staring at me like a deer in headlights, like, where's the writing center? Yes, the writing center is designed to give you the assistance that you need to write a great paper. And it's free. It is all free to our students. So the question I would ask is, do you know how to study properly? And if you don't, we are here on campus. There are so many people put in place. Again, we have the library. We have people in the library that could assist you. You can rent laptops. There's no reason you say you can't do your homework. You can go to a library, show your ID, and you can rent a laptop. You can even rent, now we have video equipment for you to rent. We have all the tools. Valencia have won, I think this is our 2nd time, the Aspen Award, and that's a pretty prestigious award. We have people contacting our institution asking, what are you guys doing here? And that's because we have people in place that really care about our students. We have a passion for what we do. We really want our students to excel, and there's tools for students to use to help them. So we tell them, get you a study buddy. If you just go home, I tell students, if you don't want to finish college, just come and go to your class and go home. you're not going to be enthusiastic about it. You know, you need to get involved. We have, for myself, we have the STEM Club, and that's through our LSAMP grant. We do a lot. We do a lot of community outreach. We talk to our students about the importance of doing community outreach and volunteer work. That needs to be on your resume. When you get ready to go to a four-year institution, they're going to ask you. Students who are in high school now, they're graduating, I believe it's a 100-hour criteria that they have to have community service hours. And so that's very important. So we get connected, get hooked up. And so you don't feel like, you know, oh, I'm just going home and no one's here to help. I don't know. Because oftentimes, a lot of times, we have first-generational students. And when they that just graduated high school and entering college, sometimes the parents can't help. They don't know. And so you have to be able to use the tools. And we realize when students are first coming into campus, they may be afraid, and they don't know. So they have to ask. It's no such thing as a stupid question except for that question that goes unasked. And so we try to encourage, ask, ask, ask.
I like that. Now, you said that volunteer hours are important at Valencia. Does Valencia partner with nonprofit organizations to see that that's done?
Well, I don't know if it's not a part of Valencia, but we offer it. We have student development on campus, and students pay a fee to be for student development. They put on a lot of activities. Again, that's to get the students all pumped up and excited about college, and you know, all work and no play. They say make Jack a dull boy. So we want the students to be engaged and excited, and that increases, you know, their motivation. But we have student development have a lot of different things they do every semester. They may go to a gift for teaching where they help bag up things to donate to teachers in the classroom. We may work with the Homeless Coalition, Second Helpings. So it's a lot of organizations that they reach out to. And sometimes when we have different events on campus, some of those organizations come to us because they're looking for volunteers. You know, people in the community at different churches, they need tutors to help the students tutor in different areas. So yes, it's important, and it's so important to have on your resume when you get ready to enter into a four-year institution, because they're going to ask that. Yes.
That is so true. What about a bachelor's degree? Can someone get their bachelor's degree at Valencia?
Yes, that's why, again, one of the things, reasons why state community is we're state, because we can offer that. Yes, we have, I believe it's electronics program that they can stay to get their baccalaureate degree, as well as we just started the nursing program. Students can apply to continue on. I believe there's a part of engineering. So there are several programs that now you can stay on campus. Some of our computer areas, degrees, you can continue on at Valencia. And that's great, because sometimes that works well. We partner with UCF. We do have an articulation agreement with our UCF, which means that if a student go to Valencia and they graduate, automatically they accept it into UCF, no questions asked. However, they still have to be accepted into a particular area, like if you want to do engineering, you still have to apply into the engineering program, but you are already one step in, one foot in the door, because you are a graduate of Valencia, and so that makes you're accepted at UCF.
Wow, that's great.
Yes.
So glad to hear that. We know that some students, they're not just students, but they're also parents. So does Valencia offer programs where parents can go to school part-time, or students can go to school part-time?
You can be a full-time participant or student, as well as a part-time. It's really up to that individual. Again, when we had a crash in the market, we saw a lot of non-traditional students, meaning some parents came back to school at night to get a different type of degree. They had to change their area, and so they were only able to go part-time. However, you just want to keep in mind, if you're seeking financial aid assistance, financial aid, there is a limit of credit hours that you must take in order to receive the different grant, maybe the Pell Grant or so. But if you're paying out of pocket, of course, there's no limit. You can take one course. And you can also attend Valencia as a non-degree seeking student. So sometimes students who don't have their degree, high school diploma, or GED, they can start college. I don't want to leave that out. You can start college. You will be accepted as a non-degree seeking student. And I believe you have maybe a year. I'm not for sure, but it used to be at my other institution where they had 1 year to get their high school diploma. But you can come as a non-degree seeking student if you want to eventually become degree seeking. You do have to still get your GED.
That is good information.
Yes.
Not too many people knew that.
Yes.
You know, that is very good information. You mentioned where the hard times were happening, people were struggling.
Yes.
So parents other students were going to school part-time, nighttime classes. I have to go back to my initial question just for the sake of elaboration. For those that want to get into the agricultural programs, the hands-on programs or curriculums that you guys offer at Valencia, can they receive scholarships for those programs, for those particular programs?
Well, so let me say, we don't have per se a scholarship to say just for agriculture. However, are there scholarships out there probably for people who want to study agriculture? Yes, they are. Sometimes we get information. In my program, sometimes we may get information. I'm just going to say maybe Duke Energy may say, hey, we're looking for women, particularly women in the engineering field, to qualify for $3,000. And then we send it out to our students and say, hey, this is a scholarship opportunity. So there are scholarships. Again, you know, you can go there, ask your cousin, Mr. Google. He can find out everything you need to know. And you type it in and say scholarship for agriculture. I guarantee you things will come up. You have to apply for them. Valencia, we have foundation funds in particularly that you can qualify for or you can apply for and see whether or not you qualify depending on what funds are available.
Ms. Willis,
yes,
we thank you for coming out to our show, answering those questions for our viewers especially. I hope that you were informed, and I hope that with the information that you received, you can make better decisions for both you and your family. Thank you. Until next time.